if you're anything like me, you got a ton of stuff on your plate. And know that it can be difficult to get these workouts in, but we're going to do it anyway because we are disciplined. And discipline is going to be the topic that we talk about as we go through the workout today. Because I fully believe and understand that discipline is a skill. It is something that is built through the choices that we make every day as men, and it is not something that most of us are born with. Some people may be born with more than others, but we're going to talk about the skill, how to build it, all from my own experience, and then we'll see what else we get into. This workout today should take us, I'd say, probably about 20 minutes, all is said and done. And remember, I've already warmed up, so I'm good to go. So if you're out there, do not try to jump into a workout of any sort without doing a proper warm up. And then afterwards, I'm going to do some push-ups. I'm going to do some farmer's carries, and I'm going to get my cool down in. But we're just going to do the workout today. So today's workout is going to be sumo deadlifts with the kettlebells. Then we're going to move into gorilla rows. Then we're going to go to a clean to press, and then we're going to go straight into a rack squat. So I'm still congested today. I might be a little bit slower than normal, but the concept of this, it's 5 rounds. It's simple, it's effective, it doesn't take a ton of time. It's focused on compound movements. So these are all big movements that focus on pretty much the entire body. There's nothing really, I guess, chest specific today, and that's why I do some push-ups at the end. I do I'll probably get to like 32 today, take a short break, hit 20, take a short break, hit 15, take a short break, 10, short break, 5. And I've been progressing from that. I started at 25, and now I'm up to like 32. So just adding a couple more each time, progressive overload. And my farmer's carries, I'm going to do about 300 meters. So 3 sets of 100 meters with my 60s here. It's great for my grip strength for jujitsu. I'm going to shoot for 6 deadlifts, 6 each side on the gorilla rows. And then I'm going to get, with clean to press, we're going to do 3. And then on the rack squats, we're going to shoot for 4 today. So I was doing 3 last week. All those other numbers are staying the same, but I want to try to increase the rack squats. Typically, I try to increase everything in either weight or reps each week, but I'm congested. It's really hard for me to breathe, and I don't want to push it too hard, but I still want to get my workouts in. So we'll go ahead and get started on that. But this topic came up for me, I don't know, really like yesterday. So I lead a group of guys. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it's a fitness group. It's 13 guys and then myself right now, and I call it Forged Fitness. And I think a lot of us in the beginning, I know for myself, I used to think that discipline was just 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. But I used to think that it was really something that we were born with. But now I understand that it's something that is built over time. And I used to be a very undisciplined person, especially before college football and really before the Army. But that has changed drastically. So and it has changed through, I believe, a couple of different things, right? There's these small little tips and tricks, and then there's some really important things. So, and forgive me, I can't really talk as I go through some of these movements. 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is a big one. That's round 1. I love this workout too. It's really great. I need to buy some heavier kettlebells. I don't really want to be doing 6 reps. I would like to be doing like 4. but I need to invest in some heavier kettlebells to get the reps back down while still making it effective. But the recipe that I found is it starts with community, right? So most of us aren't surrounded by people that are truly willing to hold us accountable, right? Most people in our lives, they care more about our feelings than they do about our success. And it's not like they're doing that intentionally and they don't mean anything bad by it, but you know, they don't want to hurt your feelings. And you probably don't want to hurt other people's feelings as well. But if we tiptoe around people's feelings, then we can't tell them that shit that they really need to hear, right? For instance, like I have a client and he's literally like opening up to me and telling me all the stuff that he knows what to do. He's just not doing it. I'm like, dude, honestly, you tell me that you want to be a king, but your actions tell me that you're being a bitch, right? Like you know the right thing to do, but you're simply fucking avoiding it. Most people aren't going to say that to their friends and loved ones. So if you're not surrounded by people currently that are truly willing to hold you accountable to your goals, to who you want to become, it's going to be really hard to get there. And the cool thing with that piece is what I have found is that eventually that accountability, when I have people holding me accountable, that translates into discipline. And that's was the case for, you know, college football and the Army. In college football, I had my coaches, I had my teammates. In the Army, I had my drill sergeants and I had, you know, the guys around me. We were pushing each other. And, you know, it wasn't really a choice, right? Like you were either doing the right thing or you got smoked in the Army. But eventually, like, I didn't need that anymore. Like, I started working out super consistently. Even in college, I kind of struggled with workouts. Like, I loved working out upper body, hated lower body. I had a bunch of injuries. But eventually, it just became something that I still struggled with, you know, like to get in every day. But I could hold myself accountable. And that's what discipline is. All right, let's get this second round in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, I'm not going to talk as much in this round. We'll get through it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Whew. All right, this time too, when I do my last fucking clean to press, I'm gonna try to move straight into the rack squats. A lot of times I just forget. Yeah, so I'm right here in the rack position. Whew. Doggy. 2, 3 more to go. Put my little rock out there so I don't lose count. A lot of people tell you too, like, oh, don't bend over. I'm fucking congested. I'm bending over. So anyway, so that accountability, like I said, it eventually leads to you being able to hold yourself accountable. And this is like a little tip when it comes to holding yourself accountable that I used back in 2023. I was training for a 10-mile obstacle race, and I'm not a runner. And it took an incredible amount of discipline for me to train for this, especially I live kind of far physically from my community. And so I'm out here on my own. Days I had to go run an hour and a half in August in fucking East Texas, to the point where like my shoes were so saturated in sweat, it would literally feel like I had jumped into a pool with my shoes on. And on those days when I didn't want to run, or I'm in the middle of the run and I felt like giving up, I would just tell myself, or I'd ask myself, what would the most disciplined version of you do in this situation? They would go get their fucking run in, or they would keep going. And that little trick helped me a ton, work towards that and just like continue to push past discipline, because discipline is something that we use to build habits. And then habits are a totally different thing. We'll talk about that next. But like, we also have to understand that discipline is, again, it's a skill. So the more you do that, the better you become at it, number one. And then two, it's finite. Like, we only have so much discipline. We can't be perfect. Like, people look at David Goggins as this super disciplined guy, which he is in a few parts of his life, but he lacks discipline in other areas of his life. I think he's been married like 3 or 4 times now. So probably not the most disciplined person when it comes to his relationship. His discipline goes elsewhere. Now he can do that if he finds, a partner that understands that and gets it. So let's do this, and we're going to talk about the next phase of discipline when it comes to habits. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think on those first ones, I was bending my knees a little bit too much. Deadlift should be more of a hip hinge, and I was kind of squatting into it, but they're not all perfect. 12. We're going to go to our clean to press. I take a step back here. It's like a swing in the beginning. I don't know if you can hear my elbow snap, crackling, and popping, but it is. Ooh, that one was wonky, and I did it again. Put the fucking weights down, so now I gotta clean them again and get into that rack position. I like making it harder, apparently, unintentionally. Step them out. Clean. And 3 rounds. 2 more to go. Woo. Woo. I'm not training to be a bodybuilder or a strong man. I do jujitsu, and I find this workout translates the best, not this specific workout, but this style of workout translates the best onto the mats for me. I feel stronger than ever. Truly, like, I used to deadlift 500 pounds, bench 320, and squat like just under 500, 475 or so. I truly feel stronger now. I couldn't do those things now, but I feel stronger, if that makes sense. I'm just trying to be in great shape as a dad. I'm gonna be 39 here next month and have my first kid on the way. So I'm just trying to show up for them and look good for my wife. All right, so next level, right? So you leverage the discipline, you're making those choices, the hard right over the easy wrong. So again, like, the running's probably a bad example of that next phase, because after that race, like, I decided running wasn't for me. I mean, I kind of knew that before I did the race, but I wanted to do something hard. But eventually that becomes habit, right? So again, lifting for me, in high school when I played sports, I hated it. Like, I hated it. I skipped my workouts. College, the army, that was a lot of accountability. After that, it became discipline. And then it eventually got to the point where it really, like, I didn't have to think about it so much, right? It was still a choice in a way, but it wasn't so hard. It didn't feel heavy, right? It was just like, hey, it's Monday, it's leg day, like back when I used to do, the bro workouts. Tuesdays upper body, like it was conscious, but it was still there, or it wasn't so heavy. You know what I'm saying? So you got to get to that point where it's a fucking habit, and then there's a level after that, right? There is a level where it becomes identity. It becomes simply who you are, and then it is no longer I did 3, right? So this is 4. Then it's a whole different ballgame, right? You can take all of that discipline and that formula that I just talked about, and you can apply it to other areas of your life that you need to work on. So we'll talk about that here after this one. All right, let's go. So again, those deadlifts are more posterior chain. Squats are more front, especially these rack squats and the core engagement that you get. 3, 4, 7, 8, 9, 12. All right, clean to press. We got 3. So literally, all my equipment is 2 kettlebells. That 45 back there is part of my warm up. Don't drop it. Whew. 4. Moving straight from that clean to press to the rack squat is challenging. That's why I think subconsciously I set it down sometimes. So anyway, eventually that all becomes, it's just part of who you are. And you know it's part of who you are when you don't feel like yourself, if you don't get it done. And you have to use discipline to not do it, right? So now for me, where the discipline comes in is rest. And now I have a scheduled rest day every week. It's Sundays. I still walk, I stretch, but I don't do anything strenuous because I lift, I do these, I should say Monday, Wednesday, Friday, typically. I might have to change the day depending on the week and what I have going on. And then I go to jujitsu Tuesday, Thursday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. I'm not going today because I have a meeting. I do mobility class Wednesday before jujitsu, and I try to do like a YouTube yoga video twice a week, stretch daily, but I have to schedule that discipline in because again, if I don't take breaks, I'll overdo it. I'll overtrain. I've done that. Been to the point where I was losing muscle. I was fucking sleeping like shit. And I had to dial it back. I was running on top of all that I just said. I was running and rucking. It was fucking stupid. So dialed it back, but it took that discipline for me to dial it back. But now it's habit, right? Sundays are my rest day. That's habit. I enjoy it. I look forward to that. And because all of this is part of who I am, there are times where I will take like a whole week of rest because I think that's important to do every once in a while. And I have zero fear about falling off the wagon because if I don't get right back to it the next week, I don't feel like myself. And I like feeling like me. I like who I am. And that's a great feeling. And part of that is this whole process. So, all right, let's get this last one in, and then let's wrap it up. So one more round. And then, like I said, I'm gonna do my push-ups, I'm gonna do my farmer's carries, and I'm gonna do my cool down, and then I got work to do for the day. So that's the other thing too, where a lot of us are busy, right? Like I have, I do coaching. I have one-on-one clients. I have a group coaching that I do. I have a land flipping business. I have a sales job. I have a wife. I go to jujitsu. Like I'm a busy guy, like most of us are. So I got to make sure that these workouts are efficient. Six, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. 2 for good measure. I always keep like a rag or a t-shirt in this case handy because my hands will get sweaty, and these kettlebells are slick. I don't know why. They're the cheap ones. That's on me. Oh, fuck, I did it. I set him down. I'm an idiot. All right. Come on. I have a napkin there too because I gotta blow my nose. 4 squats and then we're done. Ah. That was great. All right. So, if you're still here, great job. I know this is hard. I know it's easy to get distracted by other things, and we convince ourselves that other things are more important than working out or eating right. I think that's bullshit. Because what's the point of all of it, like all the other things, if you're not healthy? And you can't fully experience life, in my opinion, if you're not healthy. And that comes from discipline. So remember, community, accountability, discipline, habit, identity. Nice work.